but I'm going to start with the dream job. I'm sure everybody in this room probably has a dream job in their lifetime. Maybe when they're a kid, when they grow up, it changes, but you probably had a dream job in your life. And I did the same thing. When I was growing up in Africa, when I was 10, 11 or so, I had a dream job in my head. And I know I used to listen to the BBC Africa Service and then the World Service program that they had on the radio. Because by then they don't have any TV. Even now they don't have TV anyway. But we listen to the radio on this program. I like that program because it talks about not only Africa, but they talk about everywhere around the world. And that's what I like. You know, I said, maybe I would like to see myself somewhere, you know, working in a small village, maybe in Pakistan or Bangladesh or somewhere, or maybe somewhere in the Caribbean or somewhere. Those are my dreams, or somewhere in Africa or somewhere. You know, those are my dreams. You know, so I kept on that. I said, okay, how can I get this job if I want to be, you know, if I want to be working international somewhere? And the jobs that I had in my mind were working for the World Bank, the United Nations, the African Development Bank, the IMF, and the African Development Bank. Those are some of my aims of jobs that I would like to get in my life. So I started. But before I knew it, I found myself in the United States when I was 15. So that distracted me a little bit. But I still have some influence coming from somewhere. And that's coming from my friends and my family. I know one of my uncles, who's my great influence, was almost there. You know, he studied in Europe, he studied in France and Scotland, and then he went back to Africa, and then he get along with the companies, worked with the country government, and then he went back to Europe, and then worked for they call it the African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, and European Economic Community, or EU. That's what he was working for in Brussels, their headquarters in Brussels. So I I go down there, I go to his office, it's like, okay, this is it. So that now I'm heading full force now in my head that I would like to get those jobs. Now, when I came here to high school, when I finished high school, I went to college in the mountains, I started at Swannanoa. In Swannanoa, I started when I was in college, and I transferred to Appalachian State because the reason why I transferred is because they don't have foreign languages at where I was in college. I went to Appalachian where I can take some foreign languages because if I want to get myself into those positions, I need foreign languages. So I went to Appalachian State, took some courses. I took French and German for 3 years while I was there. And after I graduated, I went to Atlanta, and then I went to Germany. I did my master's over there. Then during that program, when I finished my master's program, before I finished my master's program, I applied for a job at the United Nations. I got a job working at the United Nations in New York. But what we do is we help other countries to be able to, use it for transfer of technology. That's the area I was working in. And we will help countries that are interested in transferring technology. We'll call it appropriate transfer of technology, not just like taking it away. So I was working, that was great. For 1 year I was doing that. I traveled all over. I was, my group, we were responsible for Egypt and I think Syria and Libya, some of those countries around on the top of Africa over there. That's why I was a program. So that gave me the opportunity to travel. I traveled back and forth from New York back to Egypt and then back to Geneva's office. That was fun. But after it was over, I mean, I didn't say I was on an internship program. That was an internship program, not just movie working. Maybe excuse me, clarify the issue. I was there on an internship program. So that internship program was 1 year. You know, they were doing this. I was so excited. So after I finished that, I couldn't. After the 1 year up, I went back to Germany and did my program. I finished it. I came back. And trying to get back to the United Nations, I couldn't. Tried to get to the World Bank, I couldn't. Tried to get to the African Development Bank, I couldn't. Tried to get to the IMF, I couldn't. You know, so all of this, you know, nothing is working for me. So I said, okay, now what should I do now? Then I went back to college. That's when I went back to Georgia State and did my information systems. You know, after I graduated from there, then I just came straight down here. Then I was working at the Wells Fargo Wachovia then, Post Union then Wells Wachovia and then Wells Fargo. But the dream is always still there in my head. And I'm still applying for those dream jobs I'm still having. I still have that one day I will work for the United Nations again as a regular employment as an intern, or the World Bank, or the IMF, or African Development Bank, or the African Union, either one of those countries, organizations I would like to work for, where I maybe, now I'm in age now, maybe when I retire, I'll have the opportunity to work as a volunteer. And that's my goal. And the goal is still there, and all of us, and I know, you know, everybody in this room have a dream job. You know, you might get it, you might not get it, but you still try your hardest to be able to get to that job. You know, and that's the way it is. And for me, I'm still dreaming, and I think one day I will get a job in one of those organizations, working in a small village in Africa somewhere, or on the Caribbean somewhere, where I can do something, possibly even just for 1 year or 6 months. It's all good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lamina, for doing a good job. Okay, our next speaker is Chris Clark, and he's 26 years old, born and raised in Battle Creek, Michigan. This is where it gets a little bit sad. He's currently heartbroken following the Toledo Rockets loss to Florida in the swamp, but he will rebound eventually. He's currently been in Charlotte for almost 2 years. The title of his speech is Fear, and the objective of speech number 4 is How to Say It.
Fellow Toastmasters, fear. Behind me is infinite power. Before me is endless possibility. Around me is boundless opportunity. Why should I fear? Stella Stewart.